You know, all morning long, we have been talking about how to get yourself ready for a job fair. You might find yourself scrambling to make sure you haven't forgotten anything so you can make a great impression. So we're going to run through kind of a checklist of the things that we've been talking about today with Randy Wood. He joins us from the Goodwill Professional Career Center. Good morning once again.
Morning.
We've run over a lot of different things, but starting off with what? The preparation phase.
The preparation. Try to get a game plan so when you go there, you know the companies that you'd like to talk with. And so how do you do that? You go online, you figure out who is attending or the companies that'll attend. You research the companies, you understand what they do, what they make, and you also learn what job openings they're posting on their own website. So now you go in with an understanding of who you want to talk to, and then when it comes to the next step, what do you bring? Well, obviously resumes, but again, you may have 2 or 3 different types of resumes. So keep that in mind, again, based on the job openings you know that those companies have. If you have a business card, bring that as well. Put your name, your email, your phone number, maybe your LinkedIn public profile.
You mentioned also maybe have a folio, something to put those in.
Well, to keep them clean and crisp. I mean, otherwise they get wrinkled, or if you fold them up, put them in your pocket. You want to make sure when you go there that you're dressed appropriately. You're dressed appropriately for the work that you do, but you wouldn't go to a job fair in a pair of shorts and a t-shirt to apply for a job that you do with a suit and tie. Cover tattoos, cover piercings. They may be available or they may be permissible when you're working, but that first impression is important. So breath mints are good. Use those. Use soap. Clean up. Make sure your appearance is a very, very positive one. Try to get their business card while you're talking with them. And then one thing we hadn't really touched on much was the follow-up.
Now, that's a great point. How soon do you follow up after something like this?
Well, again, then people will vary, but generally a couple, 3 days is reasonable. But make sure that while you're there, you create a good impression, not just how you're dressed, but also how you behave. So give the person in front of you some space, and when it's their turn to talk, don't crowd them. But when it's your turn to talk, be prepared to let the employer know that you've done research on their company. You know they have openings for certain types of roles that you can perform. And be prepared to give them that 30 to 45-second elevator speech that says, here's what I am, here's what I can do, I'm excited, firm handshake, good eye contact, all the things that you were taught in grade school, but sometimes we forget when we're at a job fair.
You mentioned that elevator speech, that initial contact you have. That's a great thing to rehearse. And I often say, don't do it with your significant other. They're going to say, oh, you're great, you sound great, all this. Do it with someone who will rightfully be critical of it and say, you know, you might want to try this, you might want to try this. Somebody who's really looking out for ways that you can improve.
Exactly, and it's a very subjective process, the hiring process. If you can make a good first impression and they associate that impression with your name, when you follow up, you stand a better chance than if you just simply sat it out and stayed home and sat there online and applied. It really is worth going, even if the jobs that you see or the companies that are going to be there may not have, let's say, professional openings. You can still get your name and face in front of hiring officials, and that has value. It really does.
You know, the things that you've talked about today apply across all jobs. You can talk about professional jobs where you're wearing a suit, or production jobs where you just want to look. I say church clothes are good for whatever you might wear, but across all of them, making that first impression, it matters.
It does, and I can't state it enough. So much of this is preparation so that you're not nervous and you get there and you waste time. You know where to go. You're confident in what you can bring to an organization. You know they have openings for people who do what you do, and you go for it. Because again, those employers are there for a reason. They need to find people. Why not
me?
You
just want to be the one.
You want
Randy,
to be the one.
Thanks very much. I tell you what, Randy has always got great advice, and he's willing to share too. You can get in touch with Randy by contacting the Goodwill Professional Center, their website, goodwillprofessionalcenter.org, or drop him an email at procenter@goodwillnwnc. That's for Goodwill of Northwest North Carolina, but goodwillnwnc.org, or give him a call, 336-464-0516.